This nibble originally aired on RSBANDB Update, episode 766, Ninja Flips and Alley Rips. Enjoy. Here's the other way of looking at it, and, this is what I think everybody in the wider community is missing on this. As a company that is in a position to have a platform, that's what the game of RuneScape is. It's a platform we don't like to admit this, but it's so true that whenever you have a platform, whether it be a game or a podcast, it is a way for you to project your company values or the values of your organization out there. And that's something that many companies have begun to do. And, I will say that everybody is free to choose to support with their money, whether or not they like a company that does that. It's entirely true for you, or you're entirely allowed to make that decision on your own about supporting what a company does. So that's point number one. And point number two, in terms of Jagex doing this, is that, one, moving through all of these points, Gypsy Heiress, how often do you have to deal with her? You don't deal with her on a day-to-day basis in RS.
Quest, and they're in the beginning.
Right. How often do you go to Karamja and worry about the jungle savages or tribesmen? Never.
Yeah.
How often do you go see all the alleys in the desert? And how often do you do Kindred Spirits? Once. So the point I'm trying to make with this is that these changes don't hurt anyone. Everybody who is claiming to be hurt this week is making that decision to effectively bandwagon and follow a cause that was started by someone somewhere on the internet. And just let me finish on this. The general outlook of Jagex from a company and the way they most definitely see this, I don't know if this is how it is, but I say with a 90% certainty that this is how they see it. If they can make the experience of one person or a handful of people better when they're playing RuneScape, that's something that they're going to do. And the cost for that, as seen in this, is relatively low because, as we just mentioned, all of these four various points here, you're not going to go back and play them as a player who's already passed through that content. So it really harms no one.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the way to look at it. And that's the way Jagex definitely looks at it on this regard. And, you can say that, we're pushing this agenda and they're pushing this agenda to, effectively be, I don't want to use this word. And I don't know if it's the right word, so I'm not going to use it. But they could be seen as being politically correct because that's just the end thing to do on this. But I think it's far more likely the way I described it instead.
Yeah.
Than just doing it for the hell of it.
Or, I don't know, maybe they could be promoting that awful, mean, horrible agenda of don't be a dick. It's that simple.
Yeah, it really is.
Try not to be a dick. People, when you said people feel like they're hurt, I don't get that. Because you've lost nothing. If we're going to have a conversation about something about the game, okay. But this...
Right, as in whether or not the quest makes sense after the fact. And we're not having that conversation here because I don't remember doing the quest. And I have no way of knowing if it doesn't make sense today.
And that's not what is circular. That might be some people's cover stories. That's not the issue. If the quest makes sense, that's not the issue. This to me...
And that's why we said, there's so many more lore experts coming out of the closet this week.
Yeah. I see, this is where the two minds come in for me, because I feel like I so hope it's just shitposting. I want to say the majority has to just be shitposting. People are just doing it to get a rise out of people, or just, I don't know. Because I really don't want to believe that there's that many bigoted people, especially on a week that we just saw the generosity of our communities.
Yeah.
At large.
Yeah.
That just,
yeah.
It's hard to compute there. Like it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Being nice to someone else doesn't hurt you in any way.
Yeah, I agree. And, I think we should take a lesson out of the Star Trek universe for how this stuff's supposed to work, as in, just having this stuff pass by. Because if you look at the Star Trek series, whether it be the original series or the modern incarnations, the diversity that Jagex is talking about is just there, and it's not forced, and it's just natural. And that's the way to do it. And that's what I think this accomplishes, and just removes those few points that will make the game more acceptable to that small handful of people out there who would be affected by this. And that's why this decision was made more than anything, I feel. So.
Right.
You can watch full episodes of RSBANDB Update right here on this YouTube channel. You can also listen to audio versions of RSBANDB Update at update.rsbnb.com, and feel free to subscribe to our show and any number of podcast listeners out there at update.rsbnb.com/subscribe.